Hello and welcome on board. Today we are going to discuss about smart techniques for creative writing assignments. Certainly, here are some creative writing tips to help you. And just after receiving your assignments, I feel like that it's a need of the time that I should share with you these smart techniques, which by adopting these techniques, you will be able to not repeat those mistakes again in your new assignments. Um, Always make sure that you have checked these points included in the following slides. Um, the fluff words that I have seen in your assignments, including basically, completely, like, nice, and so on. So you have to remove these fluff words from your assignments. And there's an example of it, of a sentence like, I was really rather annoyed. Instead of this, you can write, I was annoyed. It is also going to do the business. Again, have you checked that you have edited the sentences starting with this or it? Or if you could find any redundant words, the list of redundant words was shared in the class as well. And I suppose that in the upcoming slides, I have shared the list again. This is why the book was popular. Instead of writing this, you could have written, the author's controversial private life made the book popular. In this sentence, you could see that while removing this from the beginning, the writer is explaining the reason about the unpopularity or the popularity of the book, which makes the whole sequence more logical. Then again, the redundant words that I was describing in the class too, there is a quick list for your recap. So instead of list and try saying, so you have to compare both of these lists, and memorize them and try to retain these words in your own like practice when you are writing. So try to avoid instead of list, and try to say all of these words which I've mentioned in this uh, slide. Like, instead of writing 12 midnight, just write midnight. Or in the event that instead of writing this whole sequence, you could write if, or repeat again and again. That does not make a difference. Just if you are writing repeat or revert back, if you are writing revert, that is also possible that the other person could understand what you are writing about, and it's more relevant. Okay, now, have you checked for weasel words? What are the weasel words? Weasel words are words and phrases aimed at creating an impression that something specific and meaningful has been said, when in fact only a vague or ambiguous claim has been communicated. Examples are a bit, almost, seems, somewhat. Some people say usually, virtually. So avoid these type of words. And have you removed cliches? Yes or no? Check. And examples of cliches are, don't put all your eggs in one basket, dead as a doornail, home is where the heart is, put it in the nutshell. So, and what are jargons? Avoid those jargons. Can you find any jargon in your writing? Just try to find it. If not, then it's okay. Unless you're communicating with some specialists in a field, jargon is unnecessarily complicated. It's making your language or the whole sequence more complicated when you are talking with a person or the audience. So use non-English expressions only in exceptional cases, or when communicating with speakers of other languages of their language. Otherwise, you may create an inappropriate impression. Um, Find English equivalents and rephrase jargons that He's my reason, and he's the reason I live. Okay. So apostrophes are for possessives and contractions, not plurals. Make sure you have chosen correctly. And like Erica's quote was in the hall. If you are using the apostrophe, that will make it right. So these were the mistakes that you have done in your assignments. I have checked. And have you used the passive voice? The students are making this mistake that when they are submitting their assignments, sometimes they are starting their assignments with or the creative writing passages or any other note that they are working upon, that they start the conversation in present tense and then end it in the future tense, or maybe somewhere in the middle they are using the past tense too. So be careful. One, you should apply only one tense. And you used your passive voice, check it. While passive voice is not incorrect, but it's usually less clear than the active version, so try to use the active version. Like, at breakfast, 2 fried eggs were eaten by Harry. This is passive, but if you will write Harry ate 2 fried eggs for breakfast, this is active, and it's going to leave a good impression on the chatter. Similarly, the subject of each sentence should perform the action, like the tree was felled by my husband, or my husband felled the tree. Okay. So next, the subject of each sentence should perform the action we have discussed. Did you read your text through aloud? Read aloud to catch awkward sentences and missed words. When you are going to read it aloud and leave your text for a while and then recheck again and read it again, just after like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you will definitely find few errors and mistakes, or maybe you want to add 1 or 2 sentences or words to make it more relevant. Yes, this I was talking. Taking a break from writing helps you return to your work with a clear head, right? So start developing these strategies in your mind, and in your final term, inshallah, you are going to do much better. Run it through an online grammar checker. These days, if you are working at home on your assignments, you are blessed with a different sort of bots where you could compare your words, compare your sentences and grammatical errors, and read it over once more or later to spot errors. Lengthy sentences are not going to make good impressions, so use cut short your sequence of sentences, and then try to write concise sentences. There is one thing also that you should read widely and develop strong characters, or again, I would suggest that when you are writing about the topic, think and brainstorm. Plan your plot, that how you are going to write, and if you are using any dialogues, use your dialogues effectively. Edit and revise, in my opinion, when you are writing, when you are in the process of writing, so don't be afraid to revise and polish your work. Edit for clarity, for coherence, grammar check, and style to improve the overall quality of your writing. Then in the last, I have shared one slide that includes 52 books for you to read in 2023. We will talk about it in the class as well. So I think that's it for today. Remember that there are no rights or wrongs during the brainstorming process. Allow yourself to explore diverse possibilities and don't be afraid to take risks. Once you have a pool of ideas, you can evaluate, you can select and develop the ones that resonate with you the most. Okay. So happy learning and brainstorming. Keep visiting Edu-Station. Subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching this video.